right, welcome everybody.
Welcome back.
It is hard to believe, but 2022 is quickly drawing to a close.
Hey man, Christmas is right around the corner. We've had a great year, and it's hard to fathom, John. It's like yesterday was Christmas last year.
They always warn us that as you get older, time flies,
Yep.
and you don't think about it when you're young. But man, and I know I'm not old, but I'm getting there, and
I'm old.
I can't. It's zipping.
It is. Man, we're blessed. We're really blessed, John. We got a lot of accomplishments this year. And as you said, I think it's a good time as we turn the corner at the end of the year to take a moment to reflect on the many blessings that we've had. God's been really good to us as a co-op and as individuals, and let's just talk about some of those highlights.
That's right. Well, I think that's one of the reasons why the year went so fast, because we were so busy. We had so much stuff going on, and it was a good year.
It was a good year.
So just in general, we did things like keeping our efficiencies in focus while we really built a brand new entity.
Yep. So we've grown broadband, as you know, over the past 2 years. I think we hooked the first customer up 2 years ago this week. And we started the year, we had 2,700 customers, and we're bumping 8,600 customers now. So we're growing fast. I believe that's why the year goes by fast. There's never a dull moment. There's always something you do. And look, a big kudos goes to the employees of 4 County and FASTnet, because they're the ones that make it possible, and they've done it effectively, efficiently, and we haven't added many employees to get this done. We promoted 11 employees internally. We've absorbed 2 jobs. So we're doing all the right things the right way. I really feel that way, John.
Yeah, we're doing as much as we can and more with as efficiently as we possibly can. Folks are on board. They're excited. They're doing things. They're moving up in the company. They're moving around in the company. We're bringing some new folks in when we need to. And it's a lot of fun.
It is. And, outside looking in, when you hear somebody say, we're doing things more efficient, we're doing it with less people, and we're absorbing positions, you think, okay, service is going to suffer. But that's not the case.
No, and we're going to talk about that, in a minute about, where our service levels are as far as the customers are. But another positive aspect of all that is our finances.
Yeah.
They're in great shape.
Well, and I think a big part of that is we still have member growth, right? If you look at a lot of rural America, people decline. When they graduate high school and college, they want to move to a bigger city. We really don't see that as much as other co-ops do, because we have a lot of industrial growth in our footprint. We have the university in our footprint, the Columbus Air Force Base in our footprint. So year over year, we actually saw 8% revenue increase, which we are blessed, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And as revenues continue to climb and efficiencies continue to take effect, that means we're able to keep rates stable, and we're able to, make sure that folks can, afford to pay their electric bill.
Yeah, and we hadn't forgot what we're here to do, and I think that's evident in these major storms we had the past couple of weeks. Lights have not been out long. That's because we're doing the right things. We're spending money on right-of-way. You're going to see employees out in your footprint. I think you see we're quick to respond, and you have, if anything, seen better member service than in the past.
Yeah, that's right, and we continue to get graded high on that, and we do surveys 4 times a year to the membership just to make sure that we're doing all the things we need to, and we consistently get back good grades, better than our peers. And maybe sometimes they're not quite as high as we want them to, because we're always stretching for that. We want that 100. We want that elusive perfect grade. Now we may never get there, but we're always
excellent.
That's right.
May not be perfect, but we're excellent.
So and along with that revenue being up, our expenses are down.
They are. So if you look at our controllable expenses, which are part of the finances that you can actually control, so some finances are fixed and you can't control them so much, we're doing better than co-ops our size by far. So, hey, thank you to the employees. Y'all are doing a great job.
Record low number of write-offs this year?
Yes, very record low. And I think that, again, kudos to the employees, because we're getting deposits from members on the front end. We're taking care of business every day. A record number low write-offs affects everybody, because if we have to write something off, that means the rest of the members have to make up the difference. So, again, great news.
And then one of the things that you are intimately involved in, and really, I don't think people realize how much of this stuff goes on a daily basis, is economic development.
I enjoy being a part of it, but I can't take credit for it. Our engineering staff does a lot of behind-the-scenes work. We've looked at 12 different industries moving here. Now, if y'all watch the news, we've landed several this year. So we continue to have good growth.
And I think more to come.
Yeah. Yeah, I think very likely you'll see more to come.
Which is just outstanding. Again,
Yes.
we are blessed to be in a situation where the jobs are just lining up to come here sometimes, it feels like.
It's a great place to live and work.
But there's a lot of hard work that goes into that, not just on our end, but from the economic development folks, the link and all that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there working hard to make sure that this happens.
You can't let off the throttle. You have to keep it poured to it, buddy.
That's right. And then on the technical side, you kind of hit on this a minute ago. Our outage numbers are the lowest we've ever had in history as far as response time and and how long folks are out. Our average member averages 95 minutes of outage time for a year.
Yes. So we try to do things that most savvy business people would do, and that's measure your statistical data. And some of that data we look at tells us what's the longest member without power? What circuit needs to be upgraded because of the outages on that circuit? So one of those metrics we look at is the average time a member is without power for the whole year. And the lowest we've ever had was this year at 95 minutes on average.
So as an average member, and I'm a 4-county member, I could expect to have power outages aggregating to about an hour and a half during the course of the year.
And that's everybody coming together to make that happen. The linemen, their response time on getting to the job, the engineers, how well they keep the system maintained for growth and load, the office staff, how quick we're supporting those functions. So all the employees deserve a big round of applause for how effective the members are in being able to receive power.
Sure, and we're still looking at that. We still look for technology and procedures and policies to try to make that even better, to get that as low as possible.
Yep, keep growing.
Of course, some of that is out of our control.
It is.
Mother Nature, we saw the storms. We were lucky, the big storms that came through. This is the week of December 15th. And there were a bunch of storms that came through on the Wednesday of that week, south of us, tornadoes, I think, around New Orleans and whatnot. So you're always battling just Mother Nature and random things like that.
Let's talk about that real quick for a second, John. I think people get disconnected from what that really means. And I'm going to walk you through just a little bit. I went out with the guys the night that tornado hit. And y'all, the wind was bad, the rain was bad. And those guys were in the bucket trucks, on the poles, in the thunderstorm, restoring power to people. There was not an inch of dry clothing on us. When we took our boots off, about a quarter of a cup to half a cup of water come out. So these guys are put through the ringer and elements to provide reliable power to you.
And so there are times when we make the decision, and I think this is pretty much policy now, that at some point during a large event like that, especially if it's overnight, we're going to stop working.
Yeah, we make a judgment call. Years ago, we used to work through the night. And I'm not saying we're not going to do it again. If we're close to restoring everybody, we'll do that. But it's just more effective to pull the reins back in the middle of the night and say, look, let's go home, get some rest, start back when it's daylight. It's just much safer to do it that way. And I think it tells the employees, look, I value your rest. Let's do this the right way. But there may be times if we're close to getting everybody hooked up that we push through the night, but not here lately. We usually stop.
So, but that's, again, all of that stuff comes together to make sure those outages are taken care of in a timely fashion, and we are doing very well there. And we're as busy as we've ever been.
Yes, like we talked about a while ago, every day there's something to do. And we knew when we got into broadband it would stretch us, because we didn't know much about it on the front end. We feel like we know a lot about it now. And we joke internally a little bit, when there's a storm like a tornado 2 weeks ago, it's all hands on deck, you work longer hours. We're seeing that with broadband a little bit. We're all in storm mode, but the beautiful part about storm mode is the machine is finely tuned and well oiled. I don't think we ever work better than we do when we're under pressure.
That's right.
And if you work here, I think you're going to see what I'm talking about. It's really a beautiful thing, not to the point that you're hurting people, but I mean just effectively you all come together to get a task done.
That's right. And over the course of the year, so our call center has taken 139,000 calls.
Isn't that astounding?
And the beauty of that is, talking about satisfaction again, our call center ranks so high in member satisfaction in their ability to not just handle their business, but do it in one call.
And John, you may have some thoughts on it, but my thoughts are, let's ask ourselves why that's the case, right? I would say these people are the people that live in your communities. they're local, right? You're not calling a foreign country or somebody that doesn't talk like us. I think that's one reason why, because they understand the culture and the language, and they're invested in the community.
Yes. Well, and I think we do a very nice job of making sure that the people that we put in those positions are well suited for those positions. They are all customer, member facing, member centric. They want to get the job done.
Yes.
They come to work every day wanting to make sure that every interaction they have with a member is a positive one, and they want to solve that problem.
Yeah, and we empower them with the decision-making abilities to solve problems.
Yep.
We're not so bureaucratic that they can't do anything without talking to the used car manager in the back room, right?
That's right. So, and I think that's clearly has helped. So, things are going well no matter how busy we are. One of the other things that I think we want to touch on before we get out of here today is the Four County Foundation.
Yes. So, John, we've been doing this almost 7 years? No, 8 years.
Yeah.
It'll be 8 years in the spring.
2015.
And the Four County Foundation, remember, that board gets paid nothing. It's totally voluntary. We're on the cusp of giving back $1.9 million over 8 years. We have a 93% take rate from the members who contribute to that organization, and every bit of this goes to good causes. I think if you ask a member, are they aware of where some of this money went, every member has been impacted in some way, because every community that in parts of our 9 counties has received funds,
Yep.
whether it's first responders, school education programs, food pantries, needy families. We've impacted the communities in so many ways, and it's all positive. And in the not-for-profit world, if you look at the financials of most not-for-profits, a lot of it might go to salaries.
That's right.
That's not the case with this.
Nope.
96% of the funds go directly back to communities. Look, the 4% we're talking about that doesn't, all that really is the audit fees.
That's right.
I mean, there's no salaries coming out of this. It's astounding. Great job, guys.
Yep. And for the year, we collected about $265,000, and we gave back $287,000 just for
Good job.
2022 alone. So it just feels good to be able to do that. One of the other big things that we did this year was, we got the Choctaw County High School in the TVA's School Uplift
Yes.
program, where they spent a year learning about energy efficiency and finding ways that they could be better at using their power, saving money at the school. And then they did some projects and some things, and they ended up winning a $100,000 grant through that program to do some energy efficiency
Yes.
upgrades to that school. So that was a big deal for
And we're
them.
looking at other schools now.
Yeah, we've got East Webster Elementary and High School participating this year, and hopefully we'll sign up some more schools for next year. So,
John, you've talked about satisfaction. And
Yes.
John, for those of you that don't know on the podcast, John manages our marketing department. So, John, if you could summarize the satisfaction of our members, where would you say our strong points, where they're heavily satisfied?
our reliability, obviously, first and foremost, and having knowledgeable employees, handling customer complaints, and being a trusted brand.
Yeah.
I mean, people trust us. They know who we are. We've been here doing what we do for 90 years, and it shows. And so that feels good, because people know we care, and they recognize the good job that
I
we
think
do.
that's a good point, and I think that's why we've been so successful in broadband. I really do. Speaking of broadband, John, how many customers do we have now?
We have 8,567 as of this morning.
So we think we'll hit 10,000 in the next month and a half, maybe?
That's right. We're going to keep looking. We're going to have a big to-do, and if you're a FASTnet customer already, we're going to have some surprises for you. And if you're not a FASTnet customer already, we're coming.
Yeah, we are. We've had some community events. We're going to have one in Una probably in
February. Yep.
Yeah. So time's flying. We're on the cusp of having some learning labs for our employees, or
Yep.
for our members, sorry, not our employees. So if you are a member of Four County and you have FASTnet and you want to learn more about how to stream, how to use Wi-Fi on your phone in your house, and how to really use this technology, reach out to us. We want to help educate you.
Yep, and look for something. If you're a FASTnet customer right now, look for something real soon that talks about these learning labs and how you might be able to help us make them better.
And look, if you have a good testimony on broadband, I've heard stuff like, look, I work from home and my bill went from $400 down to $100. If 4 County FASTnet has impacted you in a positive way, we'd love to hear.
Let us
We would
know.
love to hear your testimony.
That's right. And I think one of the things we want to touch on before we wrap this up is our timeline for broadband, because that's, the folks that don't have it really want to know,
Yes.
when's it coming. So what is that looking like?
Well, I like to under-promise and over-deliver, John. So we expected to have mainline construction done at the end of next year,
Right.
calendar year. I think if all things hold well, we will be earlier than that. Remember that you have to be patient with us because the drops is what takes a while, especially if it's underground. So we are ahead of schedule. I know for some people who signed up early on, they're wondering why it's taking so long. But remember, we're building 5,500 miles of power line that took 80 years to build in about 2.5 years. So just hang on. If you hadn't heard from us, reach out. But we're coming.
Yeah. What are we averaging per day? About 50 to 60
Yeah,
hookups? Is that?
Yeah, I think we broke a record last month. We hooked up 699 customers.
So, and we're working 6 out of 7 days a week pretty
Yep.
much as far as hooking folks up. So there's a certain limit to how many folks we
Yeah.
can do. So I know that even in the areas that we are installing, there's still, people waiting to get served, but that's why, because we're working as fast as we possibly can.
We are. And be patient with us. This is the wet time of year.
That's right.
We're not going to stop construction. So there may be areas where the ground is wet or soft. Just work with us and be patient with us. If you have questions, reach out.
Yeah, just give us a call, shoot us an email. We are happy to answer that as best we can. We can't necessarily be specific, but we want to hear from you. We don't want you to be angry.
Now, we opened this with Christmas.
Yep.
And I think it's good to close it with Christmas. I want to thank all the employees at 4 County. I know you can't see it, but in our lobby, we have 5 bins for Toys for Tots overflowing of toys for needy families that came from 4 County and all of our employees.
And I picked up 2 yesterday from Starkville that are also
Man, that's
overflowing.
amazing. So thank you for giving back to our communities. We love you. God bless. And I hope you have a truly Merry Christmas. And we're here to serve you if you need us.
Merry Christmas, everybody.